In this video, we will solve a question on how to find out consumer surplus and monopoly price and quantity for a monopolist. The question is, a monopolist with total cost function is TC is equal to 3Q square plus Q plus 12, where Q denotes the output, faces the demand function of P is equal to 81 minus 2Q, where P denotes the price. We have to find out the monopoly price and quantity, and also we have to find out the consumer surplus. Okay, so let us first find out the monopoly price and quantity. I will also draw the graph here. So let's write the demand function first. We have P is equal to 81 minus 2Q. This is our demand function, and if I draw it here, we have quantity on the horizontal axis, price on the vertical axis. Okay, so we have this inverse demand function. Okay, if I draw it on the graph, so when we solve this, you can see when Q is equal to 0, P will be 81. Okay, so here we have the intercept of 81 and it is downward sloping. We don't need to find out the corresponding quantity here, we need this intercept here. Okay, so this is our demand function or average revenue curve. We also call this the average revenue curve. Okay, next we need to find out, for the monopoly we know that profit is maximized where marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. Okay, so we need to find out two things, marginal revenue and marginal cost. To find out marginal revenue, let's first find out the total revenue. Total revenue, as you know, is equal to price into output, which will be equal to P is 81 minus 2Q. To this we multiply by Q. Okay, so our total revenue will be equal to 81Q minus 2Q square. This is our total revenue. Marginal revenue, as you know, is simply the change in the total revenue due to the change in the output. So differentiating this function with respect to Q gives us marginal revenue. Derivative of Q is 1, we are left with 81 minus derivative of Q square is 2Q, so 2 2s are 4Q. This is our marginal revenue. Okay, here you can see average revenue and marginal revenue have the same intercept of 81, but the slope of the marginal revenue is twice that of the average revenue curve. So if I draw it here, it will look like this, and let me draw it by another color. So this is our marginal revenue curve. Okay, we know profit is maximized where marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. Let's first find out the marginal cost. So total cost is being given as TC is equal to 3Q square plus Q plus 12. What is marginal cost? The change in the total cost due to the change in the output. So differentiating this with respect to Q, derivative of Q square is 2Q, so 2 3s are 6Q, plus derivative of Q is 1 and derivative of a constant is 0. This is our marginal cost. So let's equate marginal revenue with marginal cost, and let us in fact to draw the marginal cost function here. Let us say this is our marginal cost function. Now as we know, profit is maximized where marginal cost and marginal revenue functions intersect. So this is the intersection point. This point will give us the monopoly quantity. Okay, so equating marginal revenue with marginal cost means we have 81 minus 4Q, we equated with this marginal cost of 6Q plus 1. Okay, so solving this, so transposing this here, it becomes 10Q. 81 minus 1 is 80, so we get here 80. Dividing both sides by 10, we get Q is equal to 8. So profit maximizing quantity will be equal to 8. To find out the profit maximizing price, we plug the value of Q is equal to 8 into the inverse demand function. Okay, so like this, here we will get the profit maximizing, what we call the price. Okay, so plugging Q is equal to 8 into the inverse demand function, so P is equal to 81 minus 2 times the profit maximizing quantity, which is 8. So we get 81 minus 16, which comes out to be 5 so 65 will be the profit maximizing price. Okay, 65 will be the profit maximizing price here. Now what is consumer surplus? We know that consumer surplus, and let me see if I am visible. Okay, let me see. So this is the limit line. Now what is consumer surplus? So we got the profit maximizing quantity and profit maximizing price. What is consumer surplus? Consumer surplus is the difference between the price that the consumers are willing to pay for a product and the price which they actually pay. So profit maximizing, what we call, so the area which is above the market price and below the demand curve gives us the consumer surplus. So the area of this very region gives us the consumer surplus. So consumer surplus will be equal to, so what this is what we call a right angular triangle. Its area is 1/2 of base. What is base? 0 to 8, so it is 8 minus 0 times height. What is height? 81 minus 65. 81 minus 65. Solving this, we get 1/2 of 8 into 81 minus 65 comes out to be 16. So we get 2 1s are 2 4s are, which gives us 4 6s are 24, 4 1s are 4, 5 the graduate. So we get 64 is the consumer surplus. We can also find out the deadweight loss that is incurred due to this monopoly pricing. Okay, so let us find out the deadweight loss also. Okay, so what exactly is the deadweight loss? Deadweight loss shows us inefficiency in the production when the production is not taking place at the socially optimal point. Okay, what is the socially optimal point? Socially optimal point, okay, I don't know how to say it, is a point where price is equal to marginal cost. When a firm produces at a point where price is equal to marginal cost, gives us socially optimal output and price. So we need to equate price with the marginal cost. Okay, so inverse demand function is 81 minus 2q. We equate it with the marginal cost that we somewhere find out, which is equal to 6q plus 1. Okay, which solving for q, so 8q is equal to 80, dividing both sides by 8, so q will be equal to 10. That means if we produce at the perfectly competitive output, so how much output should we produce? 10 units. So this point where this is our AR function or inverse demand function also, this is our marginal cost, this is the socially optimal point. So at this point we will be producing 10 units of output, and we need to find out the corresponding price and what will be, at what price we will be producing. So plug q is equal to 10 into the demand function. So demand function is this, so we get 81 minus 2 times 10, which comes out to be 81 minus 20, which comes out to be 1 or 10 is it 61. So 61 will be the price. Okay, remember here this point shows us perfectly competitive output, and this point shows us the monopoly output. Okay, so what is deadweight loss? It is the economic inefficiency that is caused when the supply and demand functions are out of equilibrium. Okay, so at this point they are at equilibrium, at this point they are out of equilibrium. Then what will be the deadweight loss? The area of this very triangle gives us the deadweight loss. Okay, so deadweight loss is the economic efficiency, okay, caused by the monopoly. Okay, so maximum deadweight loss is in the monopoly, and we have zero deadweight loss in case of perfect competition. Okay, so these 3 pointers in fact denote our deadweight loss. So let's find out the area of this triangle. Okay, so we know that it will be equal to 1/2 of base is 10 minus 8, and what is the height? Height is 65 minus 61. 65 minus 61, so which comes out to be 1/2 of the I guess it is 4, so 4 2s are 8. I guess deadweight loss is equal to 4 2s are 4. Okay, I'm not sure whether this calculation is right or not, but this is how do we calculate it. Okay, we can also find out the, let us suppose the question tells us to find out, so the question will be like, find the consumer surplus, deadweight loss. Okay, so let us stick it to this. So I hope I make myself clear in this video and you find out this video helpful. Thank you.